As I always say, Mondays are always the most boring days starting the week. However, I intend to keep your Mondays fun and exciting. Now, these next two reviews on this particular episode, these events took place back in April. The first one is called Lucha Fiesta Especial, which is an event where they collaborate with wrestlers based out of Mexico. Um, some things were edited out because in the original event, from what I understand, there were men involved, but someone decided to cut down and just put Yoshi wrestler. So why not? Let's just review it. And this took place recently, back on the 27th of April, so we're going to be reviewing that. And then, of course, the day after that, they had, of course, CML's Ladies Ring, featuring many wrestlers as well again, featuring talent from CML and other locations as well. So we're going to go through all of it, A to Z, on this one. And as always, we will cap up our episode as usual with some news updates to give you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are throwing out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of pro wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of the Lead It Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to the Lead It Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK. Anywhere in the world pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about it. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-time news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of pro wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, enough with the yapping. It's time to rock. So, let's begin, of course, with our very first review, and this one is Lucha Fiesta Eapecial. Okay. Lucha Fiesta Eapecial. This took place on the 27th of April in Ryogoku. Now, keep in mind they have wrestlers not only coming from Japan, but also from other parts of the world as well. Basically, there's the thing what I did not know when I looked online. This event had, of course, men involved, but I couldn't find the full version of this with the men involved in this event. But I was able to watch the ones just with the Yoshis because someone actually edit that part out just to make it look all cool and all. But I decided not to bring a fuss, just review it just for all of you if you guys are interested. So let's begin with our first match. Was a six-way match. We have Yuri versus Yoshiko Hasegawa versus Sonya versus Honoko versus Coco versus Yuki Mashiro. Now, of course, anything could happen in this match when it comes to six ways because, I mean, three ways, it's hard enough. Four ways, even harder. Five ways, extremely hard. And 6 ways, well, that's a bitch, if you guys know what I mean. So basically, anything was happening in this match. I mean, there are some talents I would think they could have won this. I would have pictured, but in the end, it was of course Yuki Mashino who actually picked up the win onto what's her name, onto Yoshiko Hasagawa with the Northern Light suplex, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, our next match, we had a bit of an interesting type of match. Certain characters played out like comic books or something. We have Zangief number 1, played by Daisuke Sekimoto. Zangief number 2, played by Chris Weiss. They take on Rainbow Mika, portrayed by Makoto. And then we have Nadeshiko Yamato, portrayed by none other than one of our favorite AEW talents, Hikaru Shida. Yes, Hikaru Shida was involved in this match, which was interesting in case anybody asked. So it was nothing too big on this one, but um, everybody was wearing masks, like portraying that lucha libre style. Basically, was a lot of fun. But in the end, it was in fact a hip attack by Rainbow Mika, portrayed by Makoto, by taking out Zangief number 2, played by Chris Weiss. So that's how it ends right there. Now our next match, this is a match I was fully aware of. This one is the CML Japan Women's Championship. Now remember, this is the same title that for all you Unagi Sayaka fans out there, this is the one that she had, lost to Yuya. And now she puts this title on the line against Chanyota. And of course, Chanyota, we're not going to deny she is a strong wrestler, willing to go the distance. But when it comes to Yuya, who is far more experienced than her, that's a different story. But in the end, it was Yuya with a submission that allowed her to retain this championship, and just like that, it was over. Now, our next match is a 16-woman Torneo International Cibernetico elimination match. You have this one basically more like Japan versus the world in that type of aspect. Representing the world is who they brought. We have Samantha Black, Olympia, Hera, Tabitha, Viva Van, Kira, Sadie Gibbs, and Willow Nightingale. Representing Japan, we have Sumika Yanagawa, Unagi Sayaka, Kohaku, Mei Shruga, Hikaru Shida, Hiroi Matsumoto, but she had a different character name in this one, Emi Sakura, and of course we have Yuki Miyazaki. So basically, many people would say, since this is their territory in Japan, most likely the Japanese wrestlers would win. I mean, normally I would agree with you. Now, I got completely confused in the elimination match, but I can tell you how this ends. This ends with, of course, Willow Nightingale applying, of course, a Dr. Bomb onto Hikaru Shida, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. So Willow Nightingale won this tournament, this type of match for her team, and just like that, it was over. As you probably know, Willow Nightingale loves to travel to other locations if she's not doing anything in AEW, and this is one of them. So it was a pretty good show. I mean, it's a crime shame I did not see the full version of it, the men, but hopefully if I do find it, I might do another special episode on that one, but we'll see how that rolls. But as of right now, we are done with this one. Let's move on with our last one. This one is the CML's Ladies Ring. Okay, CML Ladies Ring. This took place on April 28th, the day after Lucha Fiesta Eapecial. This was at the Posti Amistad in Kawasaka, Kanagawa, Japan. This is also the venue where mostly the Joshi promotion Diana has their events. This is, of course, their home ground, in case anybody asks. Our opening match we have is Tai Hamna versus Makoto. Nothing too special. Now keep in mind, Tai Hamna, as you all know, she will be retiring by October, so just keeping you guys reminded. Now, these are two strong ladies. I mean, when it comes to Tai Hamna, she does have a bit of the judo aspect in order to pick up the win. Makoto has a bit of the aggressive side. But because of that, this match ended in a draw after 6 minutes and 58 seconds. So basically, no one won or lost. However, this match continued on between these two until they were separated. So basically, they're like, I'm not done, bitch, that sort of thing. But you know what I mean. Now, our next match, we have Samantha Black teaming up with Kira and versus Sonia and Alex Lee. Those who don't know Alex Lee, she is from the Singapore promotion, Singapore Pro Wrestling. So it's interesting that she came for this one, I believe. But nonetheless, the match was pretty good. Um, but in the end, it was, of course, Lee that picked up the win by pinning Kira Ann, and just like that, it was over. Now, our next match, this one is our only men's exhibition match. Well, it's a straight up match, but not a. Basically, they had it. We have Masataka and Ekichi versus Esquilo and Aries. So basically, it's more of the Japanese versus Mexico type of story. Don't know much about these guys. I think I might have heard that name Esquilo. I'm not sure if he is part of the Costa Rican Wrestling Embassy. But yeah. But in the end, it was, of course, Esquilo that picked up the win by pinning Ekishi. And just like that, it was over. Next up, we have Nanase versus Yuvia. So we have two mass wrestlers, Japanese and Mexico. So that is a very good one. Nanase, those who don't know who she is, Nanase is part of the promotion of GTO. It's interesting to have her and Yuvia together. But however, Yuvia picked up the win when she applied a drop kick onto her when she had her tied up through the ropes. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Our main event, we have Miku Kane versus Tabata. Now, if many of you who've seen Tabata, she recently has been appearing in Stardom, and she made appearances in, of course, in Tokyo Pro Wrestling on maybe 1 or 2 events. But she is a rising star, one of those junior competitors that we know people will look up to, watch, get behind of, and that's exactly Miku Kane is determined to, of course, reach her expectations. But unfortunately, Tabitha was able to pick up the win with a submission, and just like that, Miku Kano had no choice but to tap, and that's how it ended. It was a pretty good event. If there's any more of these events for all of you guys, I'll definitely review. I'm sorry that I waited too long. I'll apologize again later on by the end. But at this moment, let's move on to news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news updates. As always, let's begin with upcoming events with the GCW. We have, of course, the top play that will take place on the 5th of July in Hartford, Connecticut. We have Ultramantis Black will take on Dr. Redacted. And then on the 11th of July in Dallas, we have the boss of all bosses. The GCW tag team belts will be on the line. Alec Price and Jordan Oliver will defend the championships against Ninja Mac and Dante Leon. Deadlock Pro Wrestling, as you know, will have their upcoming event later on this month on the 15th of June. The national championship will be defended. LeBron Cozone defends his belt against Trevor Lee, formerly known as To the Moon. Cameron Grimes will be, of course, challenging for this belt. More names are being announced for the upcoming Spark Joshi Puroesu of America for Ignite Texas on the 29th of June. Bert Vixen, who is in fact the current Spark Joshi Pacific champion, will be participating. Canadian promotion Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling with their Resurrection event in Montreal on the 5th of July. They just announced TJP will be participating. Prestige Wrestling with the Combat Clash 2029 that will take place on the 13th of July. They announced Matt Brannigan versus Matt Cardona. So basically, we have 2 Matts involved in this match. And then finally, we have the collaboration between Prestige, West Coast Pro and Deadlock with Cruz somewhere on the 26th of July. The West Coast Pro World title will be defended. um, Kevin Blackwood would defend the belt against Cedric Alexander. Yeah, the same Cedric Alexander that was released. So it's interesting to hear that. Hopefully, I do get to review it. I did hear that their recent event just came out, United. Hopefully, I'll review that one possibly on the next episode. But we'll see how things will go from there. But let's move on forward and let's just jump in right now with some developments. Many of you may remember him, Savio Vega. He is the Puerto Rican wrestler who, remember, he gave Bad Bunny the kendo stick to defeat Damian Priest. Now it's been reported by PW Insider that he'll be participating in Worlds Collide. Now, some of you may question why he is not part of the AAA. You're right, but it seems, as you know, they're determined to bring in a Puerto Rican promotion. But one thing that kind of stuck with me is like, yeah, Savio is a well-recognized Puerto Rican figure. You know, he does have his own promotion, but the promotion that, of course, they want to build up is with World Wrestling Council, which is run by Carlito's family, his father, Carlo Colon. So that sets it up right there. But he will be participating in Worlds Collide from what PW Insider reports, and hopefully it's 100% true. Wrestling Observer reports that Roxanne Perez will be making her way to Japan for the Marigold Summer Destiny, and she'll be facing, of course, Utami Ayashida for the, I'm going to presume, the Marigold World Championship. So basically, that's the idea. So it's not been confirmed yet. I will keep you guys updated if there's any changes. Of course, we all expected that sooner or later Marigold will continue their collaboration with WWE, as you probably can guess that. So we'll move forward that. Sarah Logan, who later known as Valhalla, it was reported now that will be departing from WWE. It was told that she will not be renewing her contract. So it's still unclear why. Hopefully we get the answer to that. And then finally, Yoshi wrestler Shin Sakura Hirota, and this was reported by Pro Wrestling Wave recently. This was during a press conference. Let me pull it up real quick so I can read it. This is what they said. On May 31st, Shin Sakura Hirota officially left Pro Wrestling Wave to focus on political activities, as announced in a press conference on June 2nd. Since her political campaign was only revealed today, she was unable to give a farewell speech at Wave 61 in Shinjuku. Hirota apologized to the fans and expressed regrets for the abrupt announcement. She hopes her supporters will continue to follow her new journey warmly. Additionally, Hirota will not be participating on June 2nd Wave show in Okayama. The match card will be updated at a later date. So yeah, so it seems that I'm not sure if Hirota is officially retired. They never mentioned anything about that. It seems that she's going to be involved in politics. I do know there is another person who is involved in politics, and that is Shinobu Kandori, who of course runs the promotion LLPWX. She's involved in politics as well, but she still wrestles, from my understanding. I'm not sure if Hirota will be doing something like that, but we'll see. But that's pretty much what we have for our updates. If there's anything new about Hirota's journey into politics, I'll let you guys know. But until then, let's just call it a day. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Before I proceed, I want to apologize to people if I kept it this long. I know these two events happened this past April. I was trying to catch up as much as possible, but these two events I could not ignore. I could have put it on another special episode, but I decided, since it was still time, I decided to do it. And the only reason I chose these for this particular episode is because earlier in the day I was out doing an errand with my mom across the border. You know, I'm not giving to the details on why, but I decided to do this one just for the heck. Originally I was thinking about Marigold, but no, it's going to take too much of my time, so I decided I'm just going to go with this one for now. But I will do all the Mighty Gold events in one swoop, like I did with Stardom. Same thing with Tokyo Ship Wrestling. Same thing um, with a few others. But we'll see how things will go from there. But as of right now, I'll say this, that for our next episode, we do feature NXT. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. I am considering possibly Prestige Wrestling and, of course, the collaboration between both Prestige and West Coast Pro. So we'll see how things will go from there. But as of right now, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye, and have a nice day.